Greetings everybody and welcome back. My name's Curtis and I'm going to be playing a little bit of Kerbal Space Program for you. Just trying to get the people out of the Christmas tree and back home safe. And we start off on a great foot. So for those of you who have been watching my videos, know that I did a Christmas I did a Christmas Reddit request or challenge and trying to get Christmas tree to Elu, and mine ended up stalling in the middle of flight. So I've been doing everything I can to get the Kerbals themselves back, since I have no fuel except for some monopropellant. But you know, that is what it is. So right now I'm basically just showing you guys some of the problems that I dealt with trying to get Icarus 2.5 in the skies. This is basically a slightly upgraded version of the first one I brought into space for rescue. A little bit of a jiggle there, it's kind of worrisome. But I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyways, maybe not. What was I saying then? Oh yeah, so it's an upgraded version of the first one that I sent out in space, which makes me wonder why the heck I'm having so many issues with it. All I did really was take out there were a bunch of capsules in between the hitchhiker's cans. I think that's what they're called. That you can hold 4 Kerbals in, and I didn't need that many, so I took a bunch of them off so I could, deal with the weight. So the only thing that was really different was that the 4 pylons that had the rockets on them didn't have as much support in the middle. Well, that's what struts are for. Also, it's kind of a cool visual, I thought. Lander cloaked in mist. You don't know what's inside. Maybe it's a genie. Maybe it's the UFOs from Independence Day. Nobody knows. But when the fog clears, you just realize it's just a mistake. But anyways, so after I took all those off, I also put a docking clamp on the top, because I have a lot of parachutes. I didn't think I would need more. So I put a docking clamp on the top as well, and I was kind of worried that might be a problem. But it didn't turn out. And I don't know why. Maybe it has something to do with the heaviness of it. They're not attached correctly. I don't know. So basically what happened afterwards was I decided to stay away from the polar technology and went back to the standard pusher rocket. Didn't stabilize as here, but you know what? I've been through worse before, so hopefully this one will last. Yeah, right. So on go the struts. More and more struts. I am the strut master. I am king of the struts. I'm strutting man. Look at the lights. Yeah, I have a tendency to lift off at night, and I don't know why. I know it's more of a viewing pleasure for you guys if I do it in the daytime, but I don't know, for some reason I always find myself doing it at night. Whatever. So I decided to put lights on so you guys could at least see it. By the way, you see those struts? It's because I'm a strut master. I know I said that before, but I can't iterate it enough. I love struts. So, this is me just, after, obviously, a few iterations going through, finally getting into orbit, circularizing. Again, backstory, if you guys hadn't seen it before. I sent a Christmas tree up in space with approximately 30 Kerbals in it, and I needed to bring them as I ran out of fuel. I had taken a lot of them, out of the Christmas tree to pose for a picture, and that probably wasn't exactly the smartest idea because I left them alone after that. I didn't really think of making this into a series. So in the meantime, they've been drifting off in space. Because I was working on some other stuff as well on this save file. So they've been slowly drifting away. So now, with a couple of rescue attempts, 2 of them are left outside of the Christmas tree, without any fuel in their EVA suits. So my first step is to try and get those 2 guys out there. Just as a side note, docking and things like that are always a little bit more difficult to handle, a little bit of finesse. Docking with something that doesn't move at all, but you need to get in between a bunch of struts without destroying a rocket, well, that gets to be kind of fun. So there's my beautiful rocket, finally up in the sky. The atomic engines there are very, very useful. Anybody who's been able to build rockets, but hasn't done more than just standard sphere of influence, the atomic rockets are very, very efficient. So here's me doing a couple of maneuver nodes. I'm sure you guys would get bored of this after a little while, but I did want to show a couple of things to you. For those of you who haven't done much balancing in game, or not balancing, but docking in game, you'll see on the nav ball you've got the standard yellow circles, which are your retrograde and prograde vectors, and then when you have something selected, you also have another set that are pink. Those pink ones are the target. Now, normally I don't suggest that you burn just straight towards the target. You don't want to do that. And the reason for that is because it could be on the completely opposite side of your orbit, and so all you're doing is screwing with your own orbit. If you notice on my screen, I'm actually pretty close to the Kerbal that I'm trying to pick up, so it allows for that maneuvering a little bit easier. But anyways, so what you do in any sort of docking or another word that's the same as docking, I'm sorry, I haven't slept, is you will want to burn towards the target, which is the circle, the pink circle with the dot in the middle, not the pink peace sign, which you can see on the trackball right now. So you'll burn towards that, and then you're going to take turns between that and going towards the retrograde yellow circle, which is the circle with the X in the middle, if you didn't know. And so you take turns going back and forth between that, and what that does is the retrograde slows you down in terms of speed versus target, because the target, let's say the target's going 100 miles an hour, you're going 112 miles an hour because you're trying to catch up to him. This allows you to put on the brakes, basically. And so as you see, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm burning retrograde because, as you can see, the Mr. Kerman, or Mrs. Kerman, I don't know if that's really a guy or a girl. I think they're all guys, but that's neither here nor there. I'm trying to match up with him. You see that he's getting closer, and this is just me maneuvering back and forth. Again, I'm going to the target's prograde. You want to be careful. Usually if it's the first time that you've done it, I say slower is better. Because you can pass them up real quickly. But either way, this is me catching up to him. I have to remember that he doesn't have any EVA propellant, so I have to get as close to him as possible without killing him, which can happen if you hit a Kerbal with a rocket at a fast enough speed. They will die. They'll disintegrate. No body parts left. So there's that, or either he disintegrates or he breaks off something off the rocket that I potentially need, which actually happened in the last rescue mission. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I was doing the long EVA flights from the Christmas tree to the original Icarus, one of them actually hit a rocket engine and died, and I actually had only 3 rockets left, and that's why I landed. And that's one of the reasons why I landed. I also wanted to practice to make sure that, I had everybody alive. So, a little bit of maneuvering. This will only take a couple of seconds. It's a sweet, sweet sun. I'm using a lot of SAS to do the turning because, as you can see, it's kind of an unwieldy beast that I have here. Oh, I'm just slowing down, and I go ahead and bring my other guy out. I've pushed rockets before. It didn't work very well, but this is the only way I'm going to be able to get him into the door without, getting right up on him and worrying about damaging anything. So I basically just have this guy do a spacewalk out to right behind him. He looks happy, having been out in space for, I don't know, 20 days without food or water, or that oxygen scrubber that's on his suit is probably extremely dirty by now. I don't know if he's hallucinating by this point. He's probably talking to Papa Smurf or humans, because Kerbals are not. They're green aliens of some sort. So I push him, and it works, kind of. He just kind of floats off in space, but you know what? It's doing the job. And you can see I left his lights on, so you can kind of see him waving around like like they're spotlights. It kind of gives a little bit of an eerie tone. But, just if you ever do something like this, take your time. I mean, space isn't going anywhere. The planet, well, technically it's all going somewhere, but that nice ricochet was great. And I don't know how, but it ricocheted me right into the door. So all I had to do was grab and go in. So, first in, successful. Thank you very much. So, first Kerbal extraction successful for this mission. I go ahead and send him home, not because I'm low on fuel or anything, which I am actually at the end of this, but that's mostly just because I burn it when I get into the atmosphere to help slow things down. Anyways, the whole reason why I'm doing this is actually because it's the first time I've really landed it, and I want to make sure that everybody will live. So, I can't stress it enough, whenever you play a game, well, any game really, but especially Kerbal Space Program, test everything, because you never know when something's going to screw up. What is that falling to the ground? Yeah, should be nothing. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, I forgot to close my solar panels, so they're completely cooked, and it seems that they're catching up to me on on their fall down. Whatever. It's, you know, I'm back on Kerbin, whatever. Yeah, I say whatever a lot. Sue me. Okay, so I'm using up my RCS mostly because I'm trying to empty the tank because it isn't really doing a whole lot for slowing me down. I think it's zero point 0.1 meters a second, which negligible. But I have a feeling that the lighter it is, the better it is. I hope so. So I go ahead and burn it. And touchdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Ooh, not bad. Not go down, son. Well, crap. I'm gonna need some landing feed or something. But hey, at least he lived. All right. That's something. So, anyways, I went back into space, and now I've got Gussily here. Gussoli, maybe, I don't know. I assume he's a Russian Kerbal, Crussian, I guess. So I think I heard that in somebody else's videos. The Crussian Empire. It's kind of catchy. Though I gotta wonder why are we using K for everything? I mean, it's Kerbin and they're Kerbals, and I understand that. But we're Earth and we're Earthlings. But I live in Texas. Texas doesn't start with E. Estonia does, but I don't live in Estonia. Anyways, I mean it's nice to have the whole K alliteration, unless you're talking about the KKK. And I don't think they'd really like this game. They're not pure enough, maybe. I don't know. So sorry to be going off in a tangent. So Gussily's quite a bit further away. I did this on purpose. I just kind of wanted to see if I would be able to mimic the push from a further direction. I mean, it's obviously not hard, but it's something. Also, another aside, on the planet itself over there, you see that they've got a crater, kind of smack dab in the planet right now, with a little point in the middle. One of these days, I want to go visit that. I wonder if there's anything there. Maybe there is. Maybe it's one of those monoliths I keep hearing about. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's just something to go check out. Also, I've been meaning to check out the pyramids that are on the planet too. I hear those are kind of cool. But again, it's on the to-do list. Maybe I'll do that in another series. The Many Wonders of Kerbin. Though, other people have done that. You could probably watch it other places. So, maybe I'll just stay with my misfit behavior. Something to note when you're doing these push maneuvers, not only does the guy get pushed off of you, but you kind of get pushed off of him as well. So you really got to pay attention to what's going on. And it's a lot harder than you might think, especially if you're using a keyboard. I know some people use joysticks, and I assume that's probably a little bit easier. But I use a Nostromo and a Naga mouse, and well, I guess I seem to be doing okay usually when things aren't blowing up, which whatever. I realize he has his own fuel. I didn't need to push him. I had forgotten that I'd left him with like a 0.5 in his tank. So that was a huge waste of time. Though, good practice, and that's a nice shot right there. I kind of like that. He's freaking out, but it's cool. Um, yeah. So have to turn him around, bring him back. I I don't know. I like that shot. And once I get him back in, it's time to go to the Christmas tree. So this will just take a few seconds. And a hit. Good thing it didn't hurt him. Also, for some reason, I always have a problem finding the door in there. Yeah. Anyways, alright, so got him inside. I've now done all the burning and everything. It probably took, 3 hours of maneuvers. And now I'm at the fateful Christmas tree. And I have a bunch of Kerbals that I've got to unload. This takes a long time. I mean, yeah, they're kind of close. And everything's not completely stationary. My Icarus slowly moves through the whole thing. But yeah, so that adds a little bit of extra time. But it allows me, again, practice. So I finally get in most of the Kerbals. There's actually still 3 left because I didn't have enough space on the station. So I go to do my deorbiting, and I'm in atmosphere, but I kind of get a little ahead of myself. So you can kind of see the shadow of mountains in the background. And there goes my solar panels again. I really need to start putting those back in. Whatever. So you see mountains in the background, but it's really dark. Once I turn off the lights, you can see that I'm actually landing in the ocean. And you guys have seen from previous videos that landing like this in the ocean is not a very good idea. That's why I added those legs on at the bottom, and I had every intention of landing on land. And part of the reason for that is because once I touch the water, all of the parachutes get cut away, I guess, and so that makes for a more violent hit, which in turn causes destruction. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on, what I'm going to do. I finally come up with the idea of cutting some parachutes. Tilt it. I'm I'm only 200 feet up or 200 meters up, but might as well try. So I start furiously cutting the parachutes as fast as I possibly can, and you see a little bit that the ship starts turning sideways, which is exactly what I want, but I'm falling too fast. I'm falling way too fast, so I'm going as fast as I can. I'm trying. Nothing's happening. I don't have any more RCS to help the tilt. So I'm just praying at this point. And finally, there's touchdown, and well, the top 3 or 4 end up getting destroyed. And that's it for them. It's unfortunate. So I take a moment to check and make sure that there's any extra wreckage that I can retrieve. Get the other part of the Icarus. And then it's time to pay my respects. So I don't know how Bill got into this, because he was dead in my last video, but he's back, and now he's missing in action. All of these guys missing in action. Like I said, there's still 3 on the actual rocket, but that's a lot of dead Kerbals for, I think it ended up being like 12 hours of work total. But what can you do? It's not like there's a save button, but there is. Anyways, so So this is where I say goodbye to all of our Kerbals that have died, and to all of you folks. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll be next week with more. Goodbye.